Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Romantic and Lin. This game taking place here on Melting Valley 2.0. Romantic, also known as Fortitude, spawning under the name After All, is the blue human player on the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Lin is the yellow orc on the bottom left. WarCraft Rumble is now available Android and Apple. Is it? Okay, I need to go ahead and check and download. I thought it wasn't. I thought it was still in beta, or closed beta, because there was a lot of bugs the last time I saw it. So, well, anyways, let's go ahead and focus on this WarCraft 3 matchup here. Lin opening things up with an Altar of Storm and a very early War Mill. Not Barracks War Mill, but War Mill as your third building before Barracks. So we could be looking at Farseer Headhunters foregoing that initial Grunt. We could also have a faster tech to Tier 2 as well. Meanwhile, back off onto the north, we are going with an Archmage After All. Romantic opening up with an Archmage After All, so we are going to see a battle of the brains between the Farseer and that Archmage. I'm expecting the Farseer to try and go for a bit of harassment with those Spirit Wolves early on. With that delayed Barracks and building up of those Headhunters, the Farseer should be able to get in a decent amount of harassment before coming back to try to creep on his own. Pun intended. Well, yeah, I guess if you like puns, become a dad, because then you just make just a lot of puns all over the place. Anyways, coming back around here, Archmage gonna go ahead and train up here. A bunch of peasants making their way down to the south to try and clear out this, a green creep camp. Even though it is green, it is on the higher end of green and will give almost level 2 to the Archmage. Meanwhile, Farseer, trying to clear out this creep camp as well, only has Spirit Wolves and the Farseer itself. So doing a little bit of additional work to try and clear out this creep camp here, trying to pull back away, let those wolves be the one to absorb a lot of that damage, as the Archmage has cleared out this creep camp already, and it looks as though it's going to be a continual expansion, creep clearing down to this 3 o'clock spot here. All right, gonna drop another water elemental. That is gonna pretty much remove all of that mana off the Archmage until it levels up to level 2. Very low hit point Spirit Wolves here. They're just going to get canceled in just a moment. Meanwhile, Headhunters are joining out on the fight. So Headhunters joining out on the battlefield as the Archmage looks to clear out this Ice Troll High Priest creep camp and is already at level 2. Replenishment Potion can add in a little bit of mana here as the Farseer looks to put in pressure. There's another, there is that Water Elemental. Brilliance Aura should, be able to churn out more and more of those Water Elementals there, as the Scout Tower now already being upgraded. New Spirit Wolf quickly having to get cleaned up here. We do see some Headhunters in the back, but remember, Headhunters have dropped in overall hit points by 25 at the Headhunter and at the Berserker level. Very difficult to have 400 hit point units as a tier 3 unit, because Thunderclap, Frost Nova, all of those AoE spells, as you get later on in the game, they really grow in their damage. 450 hit points, just very difficult after one Thunderclap to keep any of those tier 3 units alive. I'm really hoping that Blizzard considers giving Berserkers 475 hit points, but leaving Headhunters at 350, just like a little bit more of a hit point upgrade. Anyways, Headhunter trying to retreat back here. It's going to end up getting body blocked by its own Spirit Wolf there. We do see some Chain Lightning to trade a Footman in that exchange, but a little bit more mana being used up. Forest Troll Berserker trying to retreat back here. What's going to go down? Archmage trying to fall back here. Archmage does have a potion of replenishment, so could easily get back into this fight here as a Chain Lightning bounces around and gonna get a Footman for free because of the Ice Troll Trapper. Another Footman lost right there. Water Elemental is now going to try and back away, and after that exchange, we see Lin with a slight experience lead. Every lead matters here. That's, well, that one wolf in that frontline spot was supposed to absorb the damage from all of these headhunters. Not quite so much there, as we're looking at Null Poachers now getting finished off. Null Poacher, well, going to get picked off here. We should be looking at a couple of healing salves pushing on his merry way. But Romantic, now set up with this Town Hall, does have the economic advantage while teching to tier 2. Lin, off in his neck of the woods, already training up his Tauren Chieftain after reaching tier 2 and going for a bestiary. We don't see a Spirit Lodge or Tauren Totem yet to know what type of other units will be supplementing those Raiders or perhaps Wind Riders. Ice Troll going to get finished off there. Farseer does get up to level 3, does have those level 2 Spirit Wolves, and will want to put down pressure. Meanwhile, Archmage is also at level 3 with Boots of Speed, and now leading the charge inside the main base. Orc Burrows do not have that reinforced defense just quite yet, and this is going to be the perfect opportunity. Level 2 Water Elementals coupled with an easy damage here could take them down. Orc Burrows are already starting to put pressure onto the Water Elemental. There's no repairs just quite yet, and this Orc Burrow, because it has only fortified or heavy armor, could end up easily getting taken down. Meanwhile, Farseer is trying to clear out a relatively difficult creep or easy creep camp. He staff of teleportations back home to try and save. The stomp may be enough to buy a little bit of time. No, not the stun duration, not long enough here, as the Farseer does buy a potion of healing in order to finish off that Water Elemental. Tauren Chieftain still on the board here. Chain Lightning is going to be able to finish off any of those units. No, Farseer unable to get off a Chain Lightning there. Blizzard only cares about Candy Crush Saga. Well, Blizzard is still technically a separate company, even though it is owned by Activision Blizzard. Overall, they still care about their games. All right, I will say the company culture and the types of games that were made since the introduction of Activision Blizzard and Candy Crush, their style of games obviously changes, but at the same time, in the same way, it's not bad for a company to want to be able to create profits. Like that, I just gotta, yeah, that's not a bad thing for a company to produce a product that and expect to make money. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Coming back around though, well, the quality of those games, however, is a different matter. Coming back around, Footman trying to retreat away. Clarity Potions. I don't think Blizzard has anything to Candy Crush, and that'd be ABK. All right. Farseer sitting at level 3. Tauren Chieftain already sitting at level 2. No second hero coming out yet, as the Archmage drops another Water Elemental, but notices that the reinforced defenses are now complete. Gonna go ahead and finish off this Voodoo Lounge down to the south. Meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain taking this opportunity to clear out some more creep camps as well, and should be able to get, closer to level 3. Isn't going to get there. I believe he's going to be just a little bit shy. Meanwhile, down to the south, Archmage with just Water Elementals, and now Footman diving on in again. All right, the Footman will be able to reflect back some of those damage from that Orc Burrow, and now the Raiders need to try and do a little bit of defending as well. Without Shaman, without any sort of magic damage against those Footmen, the Raiders and Headhunters do not pair up well against Footmen with defend. Even with home field advantage for Lin has not been able to easily defend this location, as peasants are getting cleaned up. The Dire Wolves with that critical strike, however, making it difficult, as the Farseer does get up to level 4. Chain Lightning going to go ahead and bounce around, finding a couple of low, or making a couple more low hit point Footmen again. Tauren Chieftain does get up to level 3. Are we going to see another Footman get taken down? No, we do not. That Footman able to teleport back just in time. I believe that last auto attack would have killed him. Why did Human not get the Shadow Priest? Not quite sure. Hasn't even cleared out that mercenary camp yet, as that is a common mercenary camp to clear out if you expect your opponent to have summons. However, priests often do enough of a job or a better job at the healing. So now that we're at tier 2, with Arcane Sanctums already up and running, there's no real reason to try and train up that Shadow Priest at all. Rifleman, is he going to be able to get out from that position? It looks like this one Rifleman is actually stuck. Unable to get out of that spot there and unable to join on the battlefield. Romantic, well, if he loses a couple of close battles, one Rifleman could have been the difference there. Tauren Chieftain is already sitting at level 3. Level 2 Stomp. A Raider is going to go ahead and throw down an Ensnare. Tauren Chieftain trying to throw down a Stomp there. Perhaps go after some of these units. Well, this guy should not be the first one to get finished off. It really should have been that guy first, since that was the one that first got ensnared. Meanwhile, this Footman easily going to get cleaned up there as well. All right. Archmage, Boulder to the head. Water Elemental is going to try to absorb some damage. There's another Thunderclap there. Forest Troll Berserkers as the Priest offering a bit of healing. Mountain King getting stunned out. Should be turning back around. Should be fighting. Not quite sure why he isn't doing so, as the Granite Golem now looks to back away. Expo now getting pressured in. Tauren Chieftain wants to be careful though. Does not want to get within range of that Arcane Tower as the Raiders are now leading the charge here. All right, Farseer does have level 2 Chain Lightning. In comes the Scroll of Town Portal. Unit's going to try and retreat back. We do have Berserkers with that Frenzy ready to go, as Water Elementals are in position. Cloak of Flames given to that Mountain King as we see a third and final hero, the Shadow Hunter for Orc. All right, timing is going to be key here. Ogre Lord could easily get ensnared and get surrounded. Where is the human army? Are they close by enough? They are here, and well, not gonna be able to stop Lyn from clearing out this Farseer. Farseer does pick up Claws of Attack +8, and now also has a Mana Stone and Orb of Lightning as well. Some big damage as the Tauren Chieftain does see a bunch of ensnare units. There is going to be a Hex. Are we going to see a Stomp? Potion of Invulnerability used just as the Mountain King was about to Stormbolt at 0 range. That is some incredibly well-timed right there, as the Mountain King could be in trouble. Are we going to see a Chain Lightning? No Chain Lightning, as the Mountain King able to back up here in just a second. Now Mountain King could be, or Tauren Chieftain could be in trouble. He's now getting stunned out. He's going to get focused down, and he's trying to get a little bit of separation down to 88 hit points with that Scroll of Speed. Both sides fighting their way through. Farseer trying to get a Chain Lightning, trying to finish out the Mountain King. Mountain King able to jump inside as well. Tauren Chieftain at down to 105 hit points. Both sides losing a lot of units going back and forth. The Tauren Chieftain trying to get away. That Goblin Zeppelin holding precious cargo, all low on hit points. Level 2 Chain Lightning not enough to get past the hero's natural magic resistance. Is that Rifleman out? Okay, looks like that Rifleman was able to get out. Mountain King healing up nicely. We see some Scroll of Regeneration coupled with that Priest getting in those heals. Mountain King does have leveled 2 Stormbolt, so wants to try and perhaps stun down that Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain, however, taking a play out of the human playbook with an invisible Tauren Chieftain to perhaps get a stun off. And with that long duration stun in the opening portion of the match, being able to, well, turn the tide in your favor. All right, there is that stun right there, stunning over 9-10 units. Chain Lightning going back around. Tauren Chieftain does have a Scroll of Healing. Is he going to be able to use a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability and stun again? Yes, he does, as he's now going to be forced to back away. Farseer doesn't have enough mana for another Chain Lightning, but able to focus down a couple of units as Spellbreakers are getting added into Romantic's army. With those Spellbreakers getting added in, Stormbolt now onto the Kodo Beast. With those Spellbreakers getting added in, the Tauren Chieftain's Stomp is going to be dropping in its effectiveness quite drastically. And we may even see a change into Shockwave to try and get some range AoE damage on that back line. Lyn's Expo looks to be in trouble as well. A bunch of peasants are making its way over. 51 supply compared to Romantic's 75. A drastic difference in hero or in army sizes, hero levels are about the same with a Shadow Hunter as that third and final hero here, but without Healing Wave to allow that Tauren Chieftain to really do his plays, you're going to see that Tauren Chieftain get stunned right there for so long. He's going to try to get in a stomp, perhaps on the Archmage. Well, he needs that stomp on that Archmage to prevent the Scroll of Town Portal. There is a purge right there, and now all of the units are backing away again. Water Elemental not going after the Tauren Chieftain. Archmage teleports away, and now the main fight is still going down here. As the fight goes down, the majority of the army was able to stick around. You can see Lin actually invested heavily to try and stop the engagement, and Romantic, being smart, just got the Archmage away. He was low on hit points, and by being able to save the Archmage, he really made it that it was an overcommitment by Lin to chase down that unit. The army was still all around able to do large bits of damage, and with all of these peasants here, could easily rebuild back that Arcane Vault. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below. Final scores here. Romantic, well, definitely leading in multiple categories, getting more gold mined and being able to stay in low upkeep to get a larger army out on the field. Lin was able to get to tier 3, but we didn't really see that big of an effect from investing in tier 3. The Shadow Hunter got off a hex, but it wasn't able to chain those hexes alongside that Tauren Chieftain to stomp lock any of the heroes. We did see Berserkers, but even then, it felt like that tier 3 upgrade didn't give that much. Oh, on the other hand, Romantic able to stay at tier 2, and able to build a strong economy, build up a larger army, and be able to push with that 75 supply. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.